That tip-off is at 7:30 tonight. Hawks are kind of a middling team right now.
I mean, they just fired their coach because they're underperforming so much. So
Yeah.
I'm hoping that the Cavs can get back in the win column tonight against this team.
Cavs-Hawks, 7:30 tonight on MMS and on the iHeartRadio app. Cavs Live pre-game. You want to get the whole experience. That begins at 7 o'clock. And then the Cavs come back home to play the Raptors on Sunday. Next Friday, week from today, we will be preempted by Guardians baseball. It's a 3:05 first pitch live from Goodyear against the Cincinnati Reds. And then next Saturday night. Well, first of all, let me do it chronologically. We will be preempted next Friday by Guardians baseball. And then Friday night in Warren, Ohio.
At the Underground Lounge in the Best Western.
I mean, you can't do better than Best Western.
Yeah,
you know,
it's Best Western.
When Bill started doing stand-up, he was playing a lot of better Westerns.
Yeah.
Or
Some
okay
good Westerns.
Westerns,
Okay
yeah.
Westerns.
Decent Westerns.
Best Westerns. Underground Lounge at the Best Western in Warren. You can get tickets at BillSquire.com. It's at 8 p.m. And it's going to be a lot of fun.
So that's Friday night. Next Saturday night will be the premiere of the new metal show here on WMMS. I'm calling it 2 Hours to Midnight. Your hosts, me, Corey Roddick, and Pat Butler. Finally, a metal show here on MMS. I've pitched it for over a decade. Rob Anthony, our new program director, finally said hell yes. So 10 o'clock each Saturday night until midnight, 2 hours of the stuff that Corey and Pat and I will bring to the table. I'm already getting blown up by local metal bands. That's awesome.
That's great.
Let me know who you are and what you do. It'll be some of that. It'll be the full spectrum of metal, industrial and thrash and everything. So 2 hours to midnight premieres next Saturday night at 10 o'clock on MMS.
Can you explain the reference of the name of the show?
There is an Iron Maiden song called 2 Minutes to Midnight.
Right.
And I thought 2 hours to midnight would be
a nice tribute to
a
that.
funny-ish name for the show, right? Instead of like the Metal Shop or whatever. So,
ooh, the Metal Shop. That's way better. Oh, you should have called it the Metal Shop.
No, that's...
No, 2 hours to midnight is good.
I like 2 hours to midnight. So anyway, that premieres next Saturday night at 10 o'clock.
What's the first song you're going to play?
Well,
I don't want you to reveal it.
No, I was going to play...
But I'm excited to listen.
I was going to play 2 minutes to midnight to start. It's very on the nose, but maybe I'll end.
Because how long does that song? It's
probably
probably
about
about
2
2
minutes.
minutes. Yeah,
Longer than 2
So you can, but if you time it just right.
So each week, it will be a combination of Corey and Pat and I throwing in songs that we want to play, because we all kind of come at it from a different angle. As we kind of get our sea legs on the show and kind of shake out what we want it to sound like and feel like, we'll play local stuff. Hopefully we'll have a ton of tickets to give you for all the big metal shows that are coming through, and even some of the small ones. But I'm excited to get it going, so that'll be next Saturday night. Did you see Joe Thomas at UW? His alma mater?
My pal?
Yeah, he was just on the show last week. Joe Thomas up there at the UW basketball game, and everybody showing him some love. Full house. Look at that. They love him. Once a Badger, always a Badger. Joe Thomas up there. Now, the opposite end of the spectrum is this guy.
Former Indianapolis Colts player and radio personality Joe Stasiak arrested early this morning by Hendricks County Sheriff's officers. Here's what we know at this point. He was arrested at and booked into the jail at 1:43 this morning. The charges at this point include intimidation, pointing a firearm, strangulation, and domestic battery.
Listen, he checked a lot of boxes. You ever heard of Joe Stasiak?
No.
He was kind of a journeyman football player in the 90s. He basically played for a bunch of teams for about a season apiece. He's from Elyria, Ohio.
Woohoo!
Man, come on.
He played high school football at Midview in Grafton, and then he went to The Ohio State University. He was part of the Big Ten championship team that defeated Texas A&M in the Cotton Bowl in '87. But he played for the Chargers and the Bills and the Chiefs and the Colts, whatever. And, of course, he did sports radio for many years in Indianapolis. That's what a lot of sports radio is former players that will go on and do a show. Gives these shows some gravitas. He was at a couple different ones in Indianapolis. We've got some bureau chiefs there. He was at WIBC. He was at whatever the Fan is there in Indianapolis. And he worked there until he was suspended for saying that black people need to stop being victims. It's always something like that.
Does he know how victims work?
He said that kneeling in front of the American flag is treason and that the Confederate flag is not racist. He also said that he found it hard to believe that black people were targeted by police. This was in a discussion about George Floyd, by the way. Boy, a lot of white guys lost their gig during the George Floyd situation, didn't they? You know what I think. Anyway.
And at least one Asian.
Yeah. What happened was apparently he has a gay son, and he beat up the son's boyfriend and told him to never come back, allegedly. The cops were called to his home just before midnight this past Monday. His son and his son's boyfriend were inside a vehicle outside when Joe Stasiak allegedly opened the door, grabbed the boyfriend by the hood, tried to pull him from the Jeep, and begin to choke him. His son and the boyfriend are both over 18. They said that they were both punched by him and that Stasiak also flashed a gun. So it's his son and his son's boyfriend.
And Poundcake, who are you most attracted to when it comes to this story?
The dad, the son, or the boyfriend? Dad's a former football player. The son is...
Google the Stasiak guy or something.
I'm sorry?
I don't know how to spell his last name.
Stasiak, yeah, that's his... So he's 56, so he's a zaddy. Former football player. His son and the son's boyfriend are both...
Gay.
Gay and 18. They're legal. They're not minors. They're all legal. So which of those three... Again, I don't know what the boyfriend and the son look like, but they are white. That goes a long way with you. Mm-hmm. As is Joe Stasiak.
We need to know the skeletal rating of their face.
Yes. Stasiak he's an aging ex-football player. He might be a little too chubby in the face.
Yeah, he's not really Poundcake's usual type. But the violence, I feel like you like that thug violence.
That's what I'm saying. I've never had someone stick up for me like that. Especially my dad.
Give me that thug
He's not
passion.
sticking up for him.
I mean, like, if the boyfriend did me wrong, I want him to come pull up.
But
But
that's not what happened.
That's not what
I'm
happened.
just saying. Well, I mean, I like a tough guy, so yeah, Joe, probably.
Oh, boy.
He beat up a gay person.
Thug passion.
So
that's
but
what he wants.
It's not because he was gay, it's because he didn't like him.
I think it absolutely is
I
because
think it has
he's
something
gay.
to do with it.
But if his son's gay, he's like, I don't have a problem with gay people. You just aren't the right one.
No, I don't think he's...
I think he very clearly has a problem with his son, too.
Yeah.
He opened the rear door because he saw the son inside with the dude. The neighbors reported a suspicious car parked in the front yard.
Man,
He grabbed his son's friend by the hoodie to get his attention, he said, adding that he told them he was carrying a firearm, but never pointed it at them or Touchy denies hitting the son's friend. Although you really do announce to someone that you have a gun, not as a kind, considerate warning, but a get the hell out of here, I have a gun.
I actually am kind of grateful I didn't have a dad around those years because this totally could have been me at 18. Like, I stopped
sneaking around in somebody's car.
I was gonna say,
in the dark in front of his dad's house.
I stopped messing around in cars when I was like around 23 or 24. So it wasn't that
Late
long
bloomer.
ago. Because
23 or 24. That's
Yeah,
why he finally gave it up.
well, I stopped dealing with men who didn't have places to go. Like, I couldn't go back to my apartment because I didn't want to be rude. They couldn't go back to their house because they have another life. so
that would also be rude.
I wanted more for myself, and I was like, I'm not gonna do this anymore. But the cars, that was like a sanctuary for us because it's like, it got us to where we needed to go. We could lay the seats down, depending on what type of car you got. They almost feel like a mattress. So I'm grateful that he wasn't around, but this would be really traumatic if I got caught
For any guys that use their cars as sanctuary, keep in mind Terry's North Coast Auto does do detailing.
Wow. Bill brought his shoehorn today.
Oh, I feel like that's very on topic
Very
with what
useful.
he's talking about.
Yeah, I guess it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I
You don't want there to be
retract
any
my
evidence.
statement. Let the
Yeah.
record show. Alan, just because they weren't present when the laws of this land were made doesn't mean that the blacks can ignore the laws and just do their own thing wherever, whoever, whatever. Wow, what a cogent
What
and
law?
well thought out response to that story. What a solid reading of what the story actually is. I don't know what he's talking about.
I don't know what that person
What
is
law?
trying to
And
say.
frankly, neither does this person know what they're talking about. They don't even know if you were to ask them.
They just
Why do the blacks think they can do their own thing? Well, sir, because citizens of the country, taxpayers, take your pick. But I think we get where you're coming from. Anywho, that guy, a guy like Joe Thomas, boy, universally beloved, not only by Cleveland, but of course his home state of Wisconsin, his alma mater, UW-Madison. And but to walk out there, head held high, looking great, probably smelling great. Let's be honest.
He does look great.
And,
I wish he was in the story because I would have said him.
And the best part of the Joe Thomas story, not pulling people out of cars and punching them.
and threatening them with guns.
Yeah. Alan, that was my fiance's kink before she passed. Well, that took a turn. Having sex in the car in public places. Yeah, you can get really pinched doing that, though, and that's an
Yeah.
embarrassing way
That's
to
why I
get
didn't
caught.
win. That's
Like,
why I
that's not.
stopped.
But you were in dudes' driveways, weren't you? Or they were in
No.
your driveway? You were talking about in a car in a public place?
No, they did it at that church.
We didn't do it at the church, and we didn't do it at the school.
Oh, you did it at
It was the graveyard.
Graveyard,
A
yeah.
graveyard.
It
yep.
was various spots where we
The
thought it was-
boneyard.
where we thought it was dead and there was no cameras.
That's a good metal show name.
Mm-hmm. Like it's taken, isn't it? Isn't there a place called the Boneyard out
Probably.
here?
Well, I think those all closed, but I think that's the new thing. Instead of new band name, I call it. It's new metal show name. I
Yeah,
call it.
that's Alan's new metal show.
Yeah.
The Boneyard in Broadview Heights.
Is it still going?
Still out there.
Oh, nice.
Greater Cleveland area for 18 years. Family owned, family friendly, comfort food driven is what this is. Can you imagine if you were a place that was family owned and yet unfriendly to families? Boy, that would be some mixed messages.
I'd actually. I like it.
Really drilling down on that, right?
I like that juxtaposition.
It's like that. There was a story about a week or so ago about this place that was banning kids from eating there. And everybody was like, that's terrible. How can they ban? And people who usually eat there were like, this is awesome. Like, if you don't want to eat here, don't eat here. God, where was that? A restaurant that was like no kids. And obviously, people are going to have some thoughts about that. Restaurant bans all children under 10.
Love it.
This is Nettie's House of Spaghetti.
Oh boy, that sounds like a kid named it.
Yeah, seriously. I thought it was gonna be like some fancy
Like a
restaurant,
A marble
steakhouse,
room?
Yeah.
not a house of spaghetti.
Well, but again, this is in Tinton Falls, New Jersey, which is near Asbury Park. So it's right near the shore. We love kids. We really, truly do, they said on their social media post. But between noise levels, lack of space for high chairs, cleaning up messes, and frankly, the liability of kids running around, we're going to take control of the situation. So starting March 8th, they will no longer allow children under 10 in its dining room. Listen, I completely sympathize with these people running this business because we've all been in restaurants where the parents, admittedly, are looking to get out of the house. I understand that too. But everybody thinks that their kids are better behaved in public places than they usually are. I mean, you know how well behaved your kids are. If nothing else, in the fact that you might not take them out that often, and you know why that is. I mean, there's factors of time and cost and things like that, understood. But for a restaurant to go, look, we we can't have little kids running around this place. The same reason, like, dog-friendly restaurants. That's always a gamble, too. Oh, she's fine. And I know a dog isn't a kid, but there's a lot of dogs that are better behaved than kids. So they had people like, I'm never going there again. And they're like, yeah, fine. That's good. And it's a spaghetti restaurant.
That's a mess.
Yes. Not the place where you want feral children running around throwing things.
Now, will they at least let dogs go in there and do Lady of the Tramp kisses? Because that's important. How else are dogs going to fall in love?
Children are, I love these posts, these freaking dummies. Children are part of the family unit. They're our future. Man.
Then go to a different restaurant.
Go to a, so stupid. Our future. What's that got to do with eating? Nothing. This isn't about high chairs. This is about everything. Whatever. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. And these dumb parents are going to raise dumb kids. Lord knows we need more of those. So anyway, I would like to know about local restaurants in Northeast Ohio that have a similar ban. Because, listen.
I'm going to a restaurant.
Not everybody's equal either, right? You might have a kid that is very well behaved, and kudos to you. I got a 7-year-old. She's a peach. But we wouldn't go to, but if they're like, oh, you can't have children in town, we go, okay, I get it. We'll go somewhere else. Don't take it personally.
I'm going to a restaurant opening tonight. I'll see what their policy is on kids.
What's the restaurant?
It's Wolf Chorus. Hold on.
Are you
You
playing
don't
an
even
ad-lib
know
right
where
now?
you don't even know where you're going.
Sounds like an ad lib. Give me a vowel and an animal. Wolf chorus.
Hi, everybody. We're Mixed Nuts. I'm going to need a location and a job. Wolfpack Chorus.
Wolfpack Chorus.
On the east side.
Yeah, Wolfpack Chorus. Yeah,
East side.
Close to Little Italy. Steve
This says temporarily closed.
Yes.
Are you being trolled? Is this a soft opening?
It's soft opening, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's friends and family.
All right.
Are you friend or family?
I guess I'm friend.
You
'cause
friend
I
or
ain't
foe?
family. So.
Oh, okay.
Is this a family-friendly restaurant?
I don't know. I'll find out
Okay.
when I get there.
Is it comfort food driven?
Is it family-owned?
I don't know. I didn't even know the name of it.
Wolf Puck House.
Well, I'm going with Pants and Tommy for my podcast, and he called it Raging Wolf Bobs.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that would be an awesome
Well,
tribute to Geauga Lake.
Please find out if they have a similar children's band. That
I
might
will.
be worth the trip to
I
the
will.
east side.
I'm excited.
Listen, I don't want to keep you from this soft opening anymore, not when we can all stop being soft and begin the weekend. Do you want to begin the weekend?
Let's do it.
Oh.
Everybody have a drink, have a drink, have a drink on me. Everybody have a drink on me. Hey, hey, everybody drink on me. Brother Leslie, how?
All right, the Bill Squire Friday Get Down in honor of the late, great Murray Saul here at WMMS. It's how we begin the weekend. Take it away, William.
It's Friday! You got to get down on Friday. Get your wolf pack together, feed them some spaghetti, and have yourself a weekend. Spaghetti, spaghetti, spaghetti! It's Friday!
Maybe the first song I play on the new metal show will be the music I use for the Friday Get Down.
There you go.
A little Pavlovian response people will have to play that. The Bill Squire Friday Get Down is, well,
Up for grabs.
up for grabs. And only here on WMMS. And now your weekend is officially underway. Do what thou wilt. And Mary loves it. Are you leaving or are you off into the night?
Yes, because it is currently a 1 hour and 5 minute drive. to
There you go. 1 hour.
16 miles.
And tell us where people
Yes.
can see you then.
See me at Zany's Rosemont on Sunday if you're in the Chicago area. And next Tuesday is pre-sale for my brand new album, Nothing Matters. So please, please, please follow me on social media at Mary Santora Comedy so you can get that when it becomes available on Tuesday.
All right.
All right.
Let me take a break here. You want to get the last word in, shoot me a text, 35192, and we'll be back.
It's the Alan Cox Show.
On our free iHeartRadio